Live! Happy Memorial Day! This is episode number 12 of Savages in the Bronx, live from Studio 54 in New Jersey and REM Studio in Staten Island, New York, airing exclusively on Twitch and powered by StreamYard. And welcome back to the show on this Monday, May the 31st, 2021. I'm your host, Rich Rivera, and I'm being joined by a guy who was too lazy to put his contacts in, Tom Wospil. What's up, Tom?
That's not true. The contacts were in earlier. Okay. I was up early this morning to golf, and they're feeling a little dry. I figured, you know what? Let's let the glasses rock today.
Let the glasses rock today. You know, between that appearance a couple weeks ago when you had almost no beard, and now the glasses.
That was a bad one.
Now that my fans just think I have rotating co-hosts every week, they're gonna start sending in applications. Tom, what have you done?
I mean, listen, if anyone wants to be stuck with you for 30 to 40 minutes a Monday and have to deal with this echo, have at it.
Have at it. Do we have an echo right now?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. You have an echo.
Sure do.
That's weird. I don't have an echo at all. And I'll check my settings because that's what we do on live shows. We check settings here. We make sure we have no echoes, and I have no echo on my end. So what the hell's wrong with you, Tom?
I don't know.
Because I hear nothing on your end. I hear no echo at all. So I think you might be good. Anyway, Bronx is burning. So hopefully Tom can get his shit figured out. Hopefully.
Probably not.
I don't know.
Nope.
Bronx is burning, though. And it kind of is because the Yankees have not played good lately, Thomas. Including today's game. They dropped to the Rays 3-1 at the stadium. Jameson Tyone. Valiant effort against the now first place Tampa Bay Rays. 5 innings pitched, 3 earned runs. Yankees offense was stagnant, to say the least.
Yeah, they're bad now. It's funny how much of a difference a week makes. Last week we were feeling great. We were thinking we just came off sweeping the White Sox. You couldn't feel better about the team. I think we, in hindsight, we were really covering up a lot of problems the team was having. The team still wasn't scoring because the pitching was so good. They were getting some timely hits. They were hitting some timely home runs. And now without that, you get swept in Detroit. They look dead. They look dead against Toronto. They look dead again today. Mm-hmm. It's like a lifeless team.
Not good. And this is kind of going back to the team we saw early in April, the team that me and Tom were shitting on heading into our monthly 9 up, 9 down, which of course we're having shortly. And we will not spare any expense on this team once again. But hey, we do have guys in the chat that are commenting on our Yankees, including M Took45, who says fire Thames. I don't know how much failure we need. And then Riff0302, my buddy Mike, goes burn the stadium down.
Well, that seems a bit much. But just listen, we talked about it before. I know what was it, like 6 weeks ago or so when we had Joe Rivera on, and we were saying how the team is they're kind of just built to hit home runs. That's all they do. And if you listen to enough Yankee games, you'll hear Kay talk about it. That's the way that they design the teams to hit home runs. But when you're not hitting home runs, you're not doing anything.
No.
You see the Rays play, and it's just such a more fun brand of baseball to watch. They're stealing bases. They're putting guys in motion. It's just if you're not hitting home runs, they can manufacture runs. The Yankees can't do that right now. And they're basically running a minor league lineup out there. It's embarrassing.
And it's crazy because crosstown, the Mets will literally say that they're running out of minor league lineup, but they're still in first place.
It's funny. I was golfing with one of my buddies today who I said the Yankees are running a minor league lineup, and then he said, "Well, look what the Mets are doing," and I said, "Well, the Mets are a minor league franchise." So,
yeah, but again, still in first place. I have to ask you, Thomas, though, the Yankees you just mentioned should be a team that should be leading the league in home run because that's how the team is built. Where do you think they lay among all of baseball?
I'm gonna just take a guess and say 23rd.
You don't really have much of a heart, though. They're actually 13th. They're tied for 13th in home runs, which is not as bad as you would think. 62 home runs.
Judges hit a bunch.
The leader, Atlanta Braves, with 81. Now, take it for what you want. Obviously, home runs are nice, but like this team is just, again, a poorly structured team, and they're once again playing poor baseball, unfortunately, because, about a week ago, I had great things to talk about on this team. And I was telling you, and you were talking before we went on the air, like, hey, I'm actually excited to do this 9 up, 9 down because I have so much high praise to give to this Yankees team, and now it's a little befuddled. I'm a little disappointed now.
Yeah, I mean, last week it was like, oh, we're gonna have a tie for first with everyone, and now it's everyone's tied back at the bottom. It's funny how much a week the difference makes. They've lost now 6 of 7, and again getting swept by Detroit is just embarrassing. It's embarrassing.
Getting swept by the Tigers, that was just and that loss they took the other day on the walk-off homer from Grossman. And again, you want to point fingers to Boone and not leaving Chapman in the game or bringing in Wilson, who struggled. The Yankees still scored 2 runs against the Detroit Tigers. That's the problem.
Yep, and you can point fingers at the umpires. Wilson had
that last strikeout.
He struck him out. There was a third strike that wasn't called, but it wasn't called. And then it was one of those things, like, I remember seeing it, and then you just knew, like, I don't know if you've seen that Twitter account. It's like baseball, like images before like a bad event or whatever it's called. And it's like
great Twitter handle. Love that.
After I saw that strike not called, you just kind of got the feeling like,
yep,
it's gonna happen now.
It's gonna happen. That's just shit hits the fan. But yes, the Yankees are in third place right now in the division, 29-25, 5.5 games back of Tampa Bay, that has just been stark hot right now. Won 16 of their last 17 games. They've been incredible. They are hot as the life of Espo, my co-host from Leading Off, chimes into the chat. This is the first time I think Espo's been in our Savages in the Bronx chat. So thanks for the support, Espo. Appreciate it. Took you fucking 12 episodes to join in. Appreciate it, though. Thanks, man. Injury notes real quick. Of course, you just mentioned Justin Wilson. He landed on the 10-day IL after that loss with right hamstring strain. Corey Kluber with the subscapular strain, which is obviously a brutal loss for this team. And it's an unfortunate setback for a guy who looked like he was clinging on to those Cy Young years with this Yankee team. And again, another guy we had high praise for goes on the IL the next day after we host Savages in the Bronx last week. Such a crazy thing.
Yeah, plus Voit also going out. I think what's really been proven over this week is how thin the Yankees really are. When everyone was there, we looked pretty good. When you lose some guys, Stanton was out, now Voigt's out. Even just the rotation without Kluber, you just feel like that you're looking behind Cole, and Herman has been good, but how much you trust him. Montgomery's been up and down at times.
Right.
Now you got possibly Davey in there or Mike King. I don't know. You just don't have a lot of confidence as much as you did and even Kluber, who was a big question mark going into the season. And then same thing with Voit. It's I don't know. It's just they're so thin and they're being exposed right now by the injuries.
We're going to get into Voit and Kluber and their effects on the team in our 9 up, 9 down very shortly. Before we do that, let's turn into some good stuff here, Tom, because we like talking about good stuff. Like Sincerely Allie Studio products, of course, because since 2020, Sincerely Allie Studios has been customizing scented candles and wine glasses and coffee mugs. Hey, you can get a Yankee logo. Yankee stink. You get a Yankee logo on one of those coffee mugs. Really cool stuff. But it wasn't beach season this past weekend, Tom. A lot of rain coming in, hitting us hard on the East Coast. But lighting up one of Allie's candles, Don't Be a Salty Beach, almost took me to the beach again. And we're getting there. We're getting that hot weather again. But when we get those 90-plus degree beach days, I'm just going to be dreaming about the beach, lining up one of Allie's candles. And, of course, watching the Yankees hopefully win some more games. So if you want to decompress the right way, you can go follow Sincerely Allie Studio at sincerely.allie, and that's with 2 E's on Instagram. And you can visit her Etsy page at Sincerely Allie Studio. All things for your self-care needs. Sincerely, Allie. And our next segment, of course, is brought to you by Sincerely Allie, which we're going to talk about right now. 9 up, 9 down. Because once again, it's another month that have gone by or almost gone by. Where June 1st is tomorrow, which is crazy in of itself, Tom. Damn, 2021 flying by. But 9 up, 9 down, where we talk about our confidence rankings of the positions on the Yankees. And we do 9 because you group the outfield together, we group the rotation together, we group the bullpen together. So we're going to get into it from our worst to best. And Tom and I, we do our individual rankings. So, Tom, you started off first with your number 9, and we'll go from there.
Number 9 is there's number 9, and there's basically a cavern between number 8, and it's first base. And it's because poor Mike Ford is there. He seems like a nice enough guy, Jersey guy. I want to like him.
Not a bad looking face.
He's so bad, and you feel bad like ripping into a guy, and like all Yankee Twitter and all Yankee fans are ripping into Mike Ford right now. But he's so bad. He's horrible right now, and he does at least play like a decent first base, but it's really tough when you have a power hitting first baseman who can't hit the ball, let alone for power. So I have him in my 9th spot.
Mike Ford could be great for Sunday softball.
Oh,
horrible for the New York Yankees. I also have first base at number 9, and not to just shit on Ford, but kind of shitting on Ford. This first base position has just been a black hole for this team since the start of the season, with Voit going down with the injury, and then not having LeMahieu there, having Fordy there, and having Voit back, and Voit did not look 100%. And I don't know if it was a play to the oblique or the oblique thing came out, more recently, but it's been a black hole for the Yankees this season at first base. And you kind of wonder if that's going to be a position they're going to try to upgrade, or at least try to get some flexibility of somebody who can play that position at the trade deadline. It's clearly a need for this team right now because they're just having trouble. So yeah, I agree with you, partner. First base at number 9. At my number 8 spot, I have catcher, which I had pretty high up the last time we did this. I had it at the number 4 position because I was loving what Higgy and Sanchez were doing. Sanchez gave you the pop, but Higgy was great with the defense. And it seems like right now, the catcher spot is a tough position to just watch on the field right now.
Yeah, we were all feeling so good. Yankee fans were feeling great about Higgy. He was hitting the power. There was the stats when Cole was pitching. He was like the best hitting catcher on the face of the planet on cold days. They named him basically the starter, kind of the starting catcher, and it just really hasn't been the same since. Gary's had some flashes. He has put some good at bats together recently. But it's still not a position that really inspires a lot of confidence.
All right. Who do you have at your number 7?
I'm going to be honest. I don't know because I have my list on my phone, which is used as the light right now. So I don't.
It's shortstop.
Oh, shortstop. Yeah. Gleyber Torres is my number 7 spot. I'm going to need some help with that.
All right.
We got. And a lot of that is because of him defensively. We talked about at the beginning of the year, the balls hit the Gleyber, you pucker up, you get worried, and we saw it rear its ugly head this weekend. We saw it rear its ugly head again today. There's just nothing that inspires less confidence than when a ball is hit to someone and you just know they're not going to field it, or you worry about it. That is, talk about like Sunday softball. There's always, the kid out in the outfield, like picking grass, and you're like, oh, ball's hit to that kid.
Yeah.
We're in some trouble here. I kind of feel that way again about Gleyber Torres at shortstop. Ball's hit to him, and it's, how are we going to mess this up?
And it's funny because I guess we're just New Yorkers being New Yorkers, and we just love shitting on our team. But it's also, I think, Fernando Tatis Jr. leads the league in errors at shortstop, yet everybody fucking loves Fernando Tatis Jr.
He's so overrated, but that's fine.
Whoa, overrated.
He's also you just said how horribly he is defensively.
Overrated.
I think he's very overrated.
Holy shit!
No,
my God,
I like him. I like what he brings to the game. Don't get me wrong. I love what he brings to the game, but like, he's a very overrated player. And I think if we're gonna go into a leading off type segment right now, the fact that the Padres gave him all that money after like a year and a half of production is insane. But, not my problem.
I'm kind of losing my mind here because I'm checking. I don't know why I'm checking ESPN, but I'm checking ESPN. I'm looking up errors, and Tatis is not even on the list at all. He should at least be on the list, and he's not on the list at all.
Assume so.
Is that baseball so in love with Tatis or covering up his flaws now?
I mean, it could be.
All right,
and even go back to to our guy, to Glaber, he cleaned it up for a while there. He was playing a really good defensive shortstop for a while, and it's just, I don't know. It seems like this whole team just like goes into a slump together, and now just we're back to not being able to field the ball and put the ball in play, and don't feel good about him.
Fundamentals. Yeah. I actually had Glaber at my number 6 spot just because he has been swinging a solid bat. On top of it, of course, the Yankees have not been hitting well overall over the last week, but everybody's kind of stunk the same way. But he has sung a solid bat, and he moves up on my list from the number 9 spot where I had him last. My number 7 spot is actually second base, which I know you have a little higher on your list. Second base, mainly, I mean, obviously DJ hasn't been strong, but also the second base position, another position that's kind of been tossed around. You've seen Rudor there, you see Tyler Wade there. It's also not a position that's had a fortified second baseman where we know it only should be LeMahieu's spot, but it's just how the team's been built, and I have it at the number 7 spot.
I think that's fair. Even though LeMahieu has not had as good of a season as he's had in the past couple with the Yankees, I still, if he's coming up in a big spot, I do still feel good about him. If the ball's hit to him, I feel good about it. I do know he gets moved around. He was playing some first base today. So I know there's some movements. But when I think second base for the Yankees in 2021, I do think of DJ LeMahieu, which is why he was a little higher up on my list than you have him.
Yes, and we'll get into that shortly. Tom, at your number 9, 8, 7, at your number 6 position, you have DH.
I do. And another case of, a few weeks ago, Giancarlo Stanton was the hottest hitter on the face of the planet. Then he got hurt, and I don't think he's got a hit since he's been back. I believe that is the stat line.
He struggled.
It's back to, when he looks bad, he looks horrible. And again, if we're talking about confidence, when he looks bad, it just looks so bad. He can't run. So what is he bringing to the table right now? I'm sure he'll get hot again. That's what he does. He's a very streaky hitter.
Very streaky.
But right now, I don't feel great about him.
I actually had his spot up higher just because of that last month he had. If he would have kept going, I think he might have even been number 1 for me if he would have kept it up and stayed healthy. But so DH at number 6 for you. Fair spot. I did mention before I had Glaber shortstop at 6. Number 5 for me is the outfield as a whole. And if it was just Aaron Judge, it'd be higher. But since we grouped the outfield together, it's not. So it sits right in the middle of the pack at number 5.
Yeah, again, if it was Judge, it'd be a lot higher. Could be, a top 3 easily. He's still, even though it's at times he doesn't look great, he's still having a really good year. He's still solid out there defensively. But what you're going to get in left field and center field is, who knows? Everyone knows I'm a big Gardner fan, and I love him as a bench piece. But as a starting center fielder, that's a scary thought. Talking about positions they have to pick up, make a trade for. I think center field ranks above first base. I think you can make first base work, but granted, I think first base is a big issue. And then in left field, you got 2 guys who look afraid of the ball, and Clint Frazier and Miguel Andujar. Andujar with the home run today. He's hit the ball some, but he's other than the home run today, he's been mostly hitting singles. He was a doubles machine in that fantastic rookie year he had.
2018, yep.
Yeah, Frazier still doesn't look good. You got Tyler Wade, playing some roles somewhere in the outfield at times. I do feel good about him, at least defensively. With the bat, he's still Tyler Wade. Wish he would learn to bunt. Wish he would learn to just slap the ball. I know that O'Neill talks about it a lot. If he should just, hit the ball on the ground the other way. And he's right. That's just not what baseball is in 2021. I don't know why Tyler Wade is attempting to kind of hit the ball and pull the ball in the air, but That's where we're at this point.
Over the last week, everybody looks like Tyler Wade with the bat in their hand. It's actually nuts. So on your side, Tom, you had first base at 9, catcher 8, shortstop 7, DH 6. We both had Alfie at 5. You had second base at 4. I don't know if you had more comments on second base more than you already had. No. Moving down to our 3-2-1, we actually hit it the same, man. A number 3 spot, we both have third base, Gio Urshela. And Gio consistently staying high on our list, no matter how bad or how good this team is. Urshela,
yeah. I mean, again, we've been talking a lot about defense again this episode, and there's no one you feel better about a ball being hit to right now than Gio Urshela. Yeah. He's, I think at this point of the year, he should be the front runner for the Gold Glove position. In the AL, he's been playing a great third base, turning those double plays. That triple play was just electric. He's turned so many other double plays from third base, which is so difficult to do. With the bat, again, he's been a bit streaky at times. He's been very good at times. There's times where he's cooled off. But yeah, it's just, when the ball's hit to him, it's going to be a play is going to be made. Something special can happen. This is outside of kind of 9 up, 9 down, but he's had some flexibility of being able to play short too. Gio Urshela, definitely the best, probably the player you feel most confident, maybe outside of Judge, offensively for the Yankees and defensively at this point.
And that's a good mention there, Tom. He did show us the flexibility that he can play the shortstop position, and it's something that honestly this team may have to consider, down the road. If DJ is comfortable playing third base, which he seems to have played it comfortably. Obviously, we know what Gleyber is capable of doing at second base. He seems to handle himself well at that position when given the chances back in the day. Urshela is your only question at shortstop, and he's your best defensive player on the team. I think I have all the faith in the world that Gio Urshela can play that position well.
I think he could play it well. His limitations are at third, that he's still not that he doesn't have a lot of range. At short, that's going to get exposed even more, and then we're going to have more of the Derek Jeter's a bad defensive shortstop because he had no range conversation things about Gio Urshela, and it's just I don't think he has the range to play the position full time. He could get in there and play it. He's not going to make any errors. He's going to field the ball, throw it to first, but I don't know if he can really do it for a long time.
Here's some comments, and I think you can tell who the Yankee fans are in the chat here. Riff 30302 says Tyler Wade should be bagging groceries at ShopRite.
Listen, he would bag them faster than anyone else. I love Tyler Wade as part of the team. As a guy to come in to steal. Again, he's someone who can steal bases. He plays good defensively. I like, if we were gonna rank people we're happiest on the team, I love what Wade brings. Granted, he's not a starting player, but I love what he brings to the team. And listen, he would bag those groceries unbelievably fast.
I couldn't agree with you more. Speaking of people who are unbelievably fast, the life of Espo. Twins will be sellers. Go big for Buxton? No way. All right. Even though it's not a leading off topic, but I'll go leading off on my own co-host there. The Twins are not trading Byron Buxton. You ready to fucking mind? Even though he's hurt, he'll come through.
Listen, he's the starting center fielder on both our Diamond Dynasty teams. That will be the show,
as is almost everybody in the chat.
Which is, I mean, very nice. If I can get that Byron Buxton, depending on the price, I would love it. He's been hitting a lot of home runs for the New Jersey Jokers, so we'd love that on our squad here.
Here's a question: should the Yankees go for Trevor Story or another shortstop at the deadline?
They're not going to go for Story. Just I think. I forget how his financials work out, but the Yankees aren't going over the salary cap. It's not going to happen. I think with Story, the Rockies would have to eat some money, which I guess they've shown they're willing to do. Granted, he's a great player, but what do? You just bench Gleyber? Are you going to sign? If you're going to trade for Story, knowing you're going to re-sign Story, I guess, but right now he doesn't fit. You're going to have to sit Gleyber, in which case you're just tossing that investment out.
And it's another right-handed bat.
So the right-handed bat.
Right-handed bat. This team is not – this team is not – you shouldn't be building around these right-handed bats, especially when that stadium is meant for left-handed hitters. You need a lefty. That's not named Joey Gallo.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. It sounds like Bronx is burning, right? The team really does almost need to get kind of broken up and rebuilt because it's just the way it's put together is not. We talked about it with Joe over a month ago. It's not
Yes.
put together right for that team, for that stadium, and there's really no way out of that other than trading a bunch of guys and a bit of a restart, which is it's scary for a team that's supposed to be win now and they have the talent to win now, and when they're all clicking they can win now, but when one thing is off they fall apart.
It's incredible. This team could either have what it takes to win a World Series, depending on how the rest of the season shakes out, or this team should be blowing it up after the season's over. So it's nuts. It really is. To wrap up our 9 up, 9 down, because we're not done. Respectively, Tom and I both had the bullpen at number 2 and the starting rotation at number 1.
Yeah, I was close to putting the bullpen at 1 with Kluber going down. But the rotation's still been good. They've pitched good games. It wasn't the rotation's fault we got swept by Detroit. They threw good games. Tyone threw a representable game today.
Yes.
Combined with the bullpen, if you give up 3 runs at home, you should win those games. If you only give up 3 runs at Yankee Stadium, you should win.
Especially against the team that's in first place in your division. Absolutely.
Yeah. So, but yeah, the pitching is still what's carrying the team. It covered up a lot of the weaknesses we had for a while there. I think it's almost, if I look at the bullpen and the starting rotation at this point, it's like a 1 and 1A. They're both kind of right there with each other. Chapman did blow a save, but he wasn't, you can say like maybe he was going to go perfect. It's happened once in baseball history.
Yeah. And the Yankees ended up winning that game anyway. So
yeah, so it was going to happen. He still looks nasty. Still feel good about a lot of the other guys down there in the pen. Rotation, got the Coltrane still. We've seen good flashes out of Herman, out of Montgomery. We've seen good things out of Tyone. It's still tough bringing it back off of the injuries. But hopefully he can bring it back. And now it's what's that 5th spot? Is it Mike King? Is it Davey?
I don't know who else would be kicking around besides those 2. I feel like at this rate, you kind of have to, ride it with one of Debbie or King. I like the idea of giving Debbie the keys right now and seeing what can happen. Obviously, his first start wasn't that great, but here are the Yankees sitting at
might as well.
4th. No, not really. Third in baseball, tied with the Dodgers. The Dodgers at a 3.20 ERA for the team. Still. They're still up there. And the Mets, respectively, 3.09 ERA and number 2. That's pretty cool. But yeah, those New York teams are up there. So yeah, it's crazy. But I give the Yankees the number 1 spot with their rotation. They have definitely done more than what we have asked. They've kept us in ball games. It's a damn shame. That this list is more on a solemn note because last week, like I said, things were great, but this team has played like crap over the last week. And once again, I end another 9 up, 9 down saying, guys, get your fucking shit together.
Play better.
Play better.
Just play better. It's such a worn out kind of phrase, but you wonder what if George was still around, the kind of things God. like he would raise hell in that locker room. Granted, a lot of it would probably be negative and wouldn't really lead to anything good for the team. But you just wonder, that again, the fire of the team just seems to be lacking. And hopefully they can get it back. Warm weather, ball's gonna fly, hit some home runs, feel good about yourself.
Yeah.
Until then, we got a bunch of losing looking franchises out there.
Memorial Day weekend is at a close. Corey Favzo in the chat asks, who's the real MVP, Garrett Cole or my liver?
Ooh.
Corey, I think only you can answer that question, my friend.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Fair.
But we wish you the best in your recovery, sir. But we're going to end our show with a fun segment. It is called A Player to Be Named Later, which Tom and I have done since episode number 1 of the show. Tom and I are going to try to stump each other with some clues on a former Yankee. It could be a current Yankee, but I think that would make things a little too easy. And we're gonna
Could
go
be.
back
That'd
and
be
forth
fun.
with some clues and see if we can get our guys. So Tom, who do you have for me tonight?
Who do I have for you? So we talked a little bit before the show. So you know this man's number. He wore number 39 in his one season with the New York baseball Yankees, which was in 2008.
2008, one season, war number 39.
It actually was only really like a half a season.
2008. Give me Cody Ransom.
It's not Cody Ransom. He's someone that I think if in today's game you would be happy with the Yankees traded for, because this man plays first base.
Oh, this man plays first base. Oh, my guy plays first. Okay.
This guy plays first base.
First base, 39, 2008, and only 2008, correct?
Yes. He's a two-time All-Star, not with the Yankees. He's known for two other teams he had decent tenures with, where he's known more for.
Shit. Not Richie Sexson, is it?
It is Richie Sexson.
Fucking go. All right, Richie Sexson.
Richie Sexson.
My God.
Listen, big sexy.
Wow.
We would take care. I mean, granted,
I saw some unread in the chat, so I was like, oh, they probably all know who it is. They're just throwing it out there. I see Shelly Duncan, Kendrys Morales, and Billy Butler, all not horrible guesses, but Richie Sexson, what a guy. A freaking Yankee.
Yeah, right. Another guy they brought in at the end of his career. He played like 20 games with the Yankees. Wasn't good, but had some really good years in Milwaukee. He two-time All-Star. He twice hit 45 home runs in a season. Can you imagine? That would be so nice right now. Or I guess it would just be Luke Voigt, basically, is what that would be. But
I love it. Richie Sexson, man.
Richie Sexson.
I love it, man. Also, great first name. Just a great first name. I love that. I appreciate that. All right, Tom.
You're a clown.
I am. Tom, your guy also played some first base.
Okay.
But with the Yankees, he only played. No, he did play a little first base with the Yankees, but he did play some corner outfield too. So he played corner outfield and first base with the Yankees. And in the seasons he played in was 2008 and 2009.
So the same teams are Richie Sexson.
No, it's not Richie Sexson, obviously.
Maybe something. God. So the same team as that. Did he take playing time from Richie Sexson? Is like the real question.
I mean, he should have taken playing time for Richie Sexson.
Oh man. Give me a number.
Sure. He actually wore two numbers with the Yankees. In 2008, he wore the number 29, and in 2009, he wore the number 22. Tom, an outfielder wearing 22.
Oh my God! I New York Yankees. It's Jacoby Ellsbury. It's not.
Oh, absolutely not.
But I was guessing this guy's. Give me one more.
All right, so this guy, he didn't start or finish his career with the Yankees. In fact, he played 12 seasons in the big leagues, most notably with the San Diego Padres for 5 years and the Pittsburgh Pirates for 3 years. Before he was a Yankee, he was a Pirate.
I was going to say, that made me think of, is it the X-Man? Is it Xavier Nady?
It's Xavier Nady.
I think
Nady.
Was he on one of those like bottom? I think he was on one of those like bottom 2 or 3 starting lineups we had, right? We were ranking the starting lineups for the Yankees.
He made 2000. He was on the 2009 opening day lineup.
Yeah,
and it was a team that won the World Series, which is funny. And that was one of our worst lineups.
Yeah, but that's kind of I was thinking about that. Yeah, it's funny you said how he was a Padre for longer than he was a Pirate. I remember him as a Pirate. Just for some reason, like Xavier Nady, I think Pirates.
I agree.
Those over 3 years. So
I agree, and I think he is his best body of work might have been with the Pirates, just looking at his career stats. But yeah, Nady brought on in 2009 as the kept in 2000. Well, he started in 2000, but he was supposed to be the Yankees starting left fielder in 2009. However, the Yankees did sign somebody that could have helped him in the outfield, but he was going to be a bench guy, play a little outfield, a little first base, and ended up taking over Nady's role in the starting outfield, won the World Series with the team that year. Who was that guy? Thomas?
Hideki Matsu. No, it's
not. No, obviously not. Nick Swisher. Yeah. Nick Swisher was that
Swisher-lish.
Swisher came in and took over the role that Nady was supposed to play in. But Xavier Nady is our guy tonight on a player to be named later. And on that note, tonight's show is over. So, Thomas, it was fun like always. We'll see you here for another episode of Savages in the Bronx. And before we do that, we like to shout out and send our thank yous out there. So, Tom, anybody you want to thank?
I want to thank the Detroit Tigers for exposing the Yankees as frauds over the weekend. And hopefully that causes them to make some changes.
Good. I like that. Let's hope the Yankees turn this sinking ship around once again. Hopefully they will persevere through some of these injuries they've had. Obviously, I want to thank all of you for joining. We had a nice crowd tonight for Savages in the Bronx. I want to thank all our viewers and our Twitch chatters. And great to see you guys all. Hopefully you had a happy Memorial Day weekend. Obviously, want to shout out all the troops, all the men and women who have protected our country over the years and unfortunately gave our lives. And this is why we have this holiday. But we should be celebrating your memory every day, no matter what. And we thank you. We love you for all your service that you've done for our country. But for the rest of you, we'll see you here next week on Savages in the Bronx at 8 p.m. Eastern time on Twitch. Take care.